Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 5, I think, of my casting challenge of casting every day. Now, I say I think because I'm actually recording this ahead of time. I will be away this weekend, so I actually won't be able to cast on the day of, or at least won't be able to record. Now, I will only be doing these ahead of time when I'm not able to make it on that day, just because I still want to be able to cast every day, but sometimes I just have a real life. I have other things. I'll be traveling, so I really can't. So today I will be going ahead and casting some Hearthstone today, trying something different. And I'll be casting the old Tespa training grounds that they did back in week 7, right before they entered the playoffs. Now, this is an old format, so you won't be seeing some of the new cards. So you won't see Pirate Warrior or Pirates at all, really. It'll be more of like, as you see on the screen right here, Temple Mage and discard Warlock. So this is going to be seeing a lot of. So we're going to go to it. I'm actually going to get rid of the face cam and start the video up, and let's get started.
Game plan. Knowing that Zoo's in the lineup, does that...
Forgot to mute the video, so there we go. Went ahead, muted the video, so now it's just going to be me talking. Now I won't be listening to the co-casters. So this matchup right now is going to be Discard Lock versus Tempo Mage, and really this matchup is going to be is how efficient the Flame Waker is going to be, and can the Mage get its reliable AoE damage. If it's able to do that, then I feel like the Mage is going to have a much easier time. So Rochester is going to still try to get down as many cards as they can. They're probably going to turn 1 Imp, turn 2 Darkshire. Actually, probably going to coin out the Imp Gang Boss. So yeah, right here. They're definitely going to throw the Imp out. There's nothing really that's going to be able to kill it right away. Their best bet here is probably going to be to throw down a minion of some sort. Probably a Cult Sorcerer, just to try to get to that spell damage on the board. They don't need the lower cost spells right now because they're not going to try to throw down the Fireball. It would be a huge waste to throw a Fireball into an Imp. So this is the first decision that Rochester has, is are they going to coin out the Imp Gang Boss, or are they going to throw down a Counselor? Now, one thing about the Counselor, they will discard a card, but they will be able to draw a card, but they might get rid of something important. Like that Imp Gang Boss, it's one of the strongest cards that a Warlock has. Not even just in this matchup or in this deck. It's just always good. So it's going to be very surprising if they go for that, because even the Knife Juggler is still pretty good. They have really good cards that they do not want to lose to this discard mechanic, and they might go for it. And best case is, I don't want to say it, but the coin might actually be the best one to lose, but they're actually just going to send out the Dark Peddler, keep the coin up, and if they can get another Power Overwhelming, that is huge right now. I feel like right now they got to go for the PO. Getting Power Overwhelming is good. They're actually going for Runic Egg. They want the card draw instead. Very interesting, actually. I don't really understand why. Maybe they know that their Imp is not going to survive this turn, so they just want to make sure that they get some card draw in there, since they're going to be discarding a lot. But the Power Overwhelming, I felt like would have been really strong. It would have allowed them to burst at the end. It would have allowed them to clear if they need to. But it seems here they're just going to play down an Apprentice, throw down the Mana Worm, and they're going to go for the 50-50 shot. Actually, no, it's more than the 50-50 shot of killing this Cult Apprentice. Oh my god, all 4 go face. That is extremely low chance right there. Basically a 1 in 16 chance right there, actually. So just got to say, it's a 1 in 16 chance of that happening. So they didn't even get anything off it, so they can't even ping it next turn. Granted, they probably don't need to now. This is kind of interesting because usually Tempo Mage and Discard Zoo, you would see more of the Warlock running out of cards. You see the Mage running out of cards here, but it's still fairly early. They have those Arcane Intellects to draw those cards later down, so it's perfectly fine. They actually don't need too many cards right now. If they get a 1-mana spell from the Flame Waker next turn, they are golden right now. But we're gonna have to see of what they decide to do. It looks like they're just going to try to clear him and play down the Imp Gang Boss. Definitely a good decision right here. Just another Fireball. They are stacking these Fireballs pretty crazy now. This is the decision of, do they use it to clear out the Imp Gang Boss? If they don't, they're going to lose their... I actually don't know what card that is. I think it's Cthulhu's... It's the +1 spell damage, the Cthulhu card. But, and sadly, since I actually can't hover it, it's because I'm not actually in the Hearthstone client. I'm just watching a YouTube video, so that is kind of a disappointment. But, are they going to allow the Imp Gang boss to not only clear but get 2 Imps out of it? Because if they only allow it to get 1 off, they could actually just clear it with the Mana Orb and keep both alive. But they might want to go face, actually, it seems. Yeah, they're just going to apply the pressure. Now that I think about it, they do have another Fireball in their hand, and this is just putting a lot of pressure on Rochester. Now they need to draw some sort of taunt, but they don't have it. They have the 1 taunt minion in their deck, but they weren't able to get it, and they have no reliable way of drawing at all, so this is not looking good for Rochester at all. Leigh might have this one in the bag already. What are they able to do this turn? So they're going to Knife Juggler and see what they can get. They have 2 draws, so they'll have at least 2 damage going out. If they can get lucky and get it on each of the minions, that'd be perfect. So first one's going to go face. It seems like everything's smorking in this game, and that's 100% of what they didn't want. So now they have to use the Death Rattle on the chance that it gets the Silverware Golem, so they could still get 2 more shots. They don't get it, but let's see where the shot goes, and it goes face again! What is with the odds in this game? Everything's going face. Wow. And just as a clarification, I actually did not watch this game ahead of time. This is completely new. I didn't see anything. And this is just insane. Now, he's forced to try something right now, and he's actually just going to go and do damage to the Mana Worm because he is going to get that one thing. And if that one went phase 2, that would have been insane. But do they have lethal on this turn? They have 6 damage in the hand, which is going to go to 5. Or they have 8 damage, actually, and that is perfectly lethal. That's going to be the first game already going in favor of Leigh. Or was that 2 damage to a minion? Never mind. I was wrong. I am a noob. I forgot Arcane Blast could only go to minions. But they're going to go down to 2 health. And that's pretty insane at this point. All they need is really any sort of low-cost spell, and it's going to be over. Rochester now trying to grab something. They were able to get the Seeker out there, which is pretty good, especially because they are going to have a full board. So they will get that... is that a +4/+4 on it, I believe? So they'll have a 5/5 on their side, which is really good if they can manage to survive. But it's going to be like Leigh needs to draw just 1 damage or even a spell. Oh, they are 1 mana off right now. And this is actually now not looking too good for Leigh. They're just going to Firebolt the face and probably play the Flamewaker. They're actually considering it right now. Let's see, it's 5, 7, 9, 14 damage. I don't think there's any way for Rochester to win this game, and that was actually a very smart move by Leigh. I was actually being a dummy there. You did not want to play the Flamewaker there because it would have given him a card draw through this Librarian. And there's this. Now we're going to have finally the first game go over to Leigh there. They didn't get the Arcane Blast lethal, but they were able to get it with just 2 pings. So first game will go over to Leigh. Granted, it was a matchup in their favor, but we'll have to see what they decide to do with the second one. They seem really happy that they just won the first game, but they're probably just trying to calm their nerves. They have to win 2 more games, that they still have 2 more decks that they have to win yet. Oh, there they go. Now they're happy. Now they're having some sort of emotion in there, at least 2 of them are. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump ahead to the next one. And it looks like it is going to be again with that discard Warlock against actually Druid, which Druid at this time was one of the strongest decks in the game. And this is probably going to be a Malagos Druid. That's what they've all been playing. I'm trying to think because I'm so used to playing actually a Jade Druid right now that I'm having to go back to what the old Malagos Druid used to do. So what they did is they used to have a lot of low-cost spells. They had the Moonfire, they had the Living Roots, and they would just... Wait, is that a Yashiraj? That is interesting. Okay. I'm really interested to see Leigh's deck adaptation here with the Yashiraj. That's nothing that I expected. What I always knew was that they had the Malagos, they had the Gadget Stand, they have a lot of low-cost spells, such as Living Roots, which here, Living Roots for 2 1/1s is always great. Now, Wild Growth here, easy choice, and that's a Sylvanas. Is this... I think Sylvanas is kind of standard now that I think about it, though, so that doesn't surprise me too much. Now we have an interesting decision here by Rochester. They could play the 1/3 chance of throwing down the Librarian, and then they will have 4 minions on the board if the Golem does go down. the safe bet here is because you have the taunt up is just go ahead and throw the Knife Juggler down. The only thing that's going to really contest it is going to be some sort of spell, such as Living Roots, or if they waste the Moonfire, but they would need 2 of them. Ooh, the swipe is going to be really good. If only they had spell damage here, they would have been able to completely clear the board, but it seems like they might want to just... They might innervate Sylvanas out on this one. And it's showing you right there. If you guys don't know, Sylvanas has a Death Rattle, which he's able to take over a minion, which at this point, it's a standard card. I'm sure you guys already know about Sylvanas. But they are going to play this just to get a big minion on the board and kind of threaten, like, hey, if you do clear this, it's not going to end well for you, especially if you guys give us, let's just say, an Imp King boss, or if you have the Darkshire Librarian come out, because you lost the card and we will be drawing it, so that'd be kind of good to actually pick up. There's not too many other ones that they want to pick up. Maybe a taunt to just save them 2 damage or something like that. But it seems like the Imp King boss is going to be the one that they want to play down. And I don't think they're going to change their mind. They just want to go face at this point. There's no point not to. They kind of don't want to clear the Sylvanas right now. That is a really good draw right now, because not only would they be able to clear minions with that, but if they do allow that swipe to live, that's just going to... that Drake to live with the spell damage up, that swipe is just going to be so impactful. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. At this point, taunting and Direwolf might be the best choice. I'm trying to think of what would be better in this case. Because putting that taunt out, then you at least protect that Sylvanas won't be able to throw herself into a 3 attack minion. If you would throw that Direwolf Alpha out and maybe bump up the, let's just say, the Knife Juggler, for example. I believe, yeah, I think taunting and Direwolf Alpha is the best choice here. The only thing they do have to worry about is with the Knife Juggler. If the Knife Juggler does go to... They're actually going to Librarian, go for that 50-50 shot, and they aren't going to get it. They're actually going to lose the Alpha, so not looking too good for them. Now, they did just pick up a Soulfire, and I feel like they're going to clear the Sylvanas, see what they give. They're going face first, I believe, just so they don't lose out on the damage if it gets stolen by the Sylvanas. And what are they going to take? It's going to take the Malchezaar's Imp, which they do lose out on card draw right now, but it's not the worst to give out. They're only giving a 1-2 body out, so it's not that impactful. Now, without that spell damage, this swipe is going to be a lot less meaningful. Granted, they still have a Moonfire, so they can clear pretty well. Trying to think what the best... They might want to swipe the Silver Golem right now, because your opponent, they have no minions on the board. They have no... Or, I'm sorry, they have no cards in their hand. They have a bunch of minions on the board, so you want to clear them as much as you can. But they have no minions with no card draw on board. Yes, they still have their hero power, but that's only 2 draws per turn. That's still not a lot. So you want to use the Moonfire here, clear out on... That's what I was going to say, the Knife Juggler. Then probably clear out with your hero power the taunts. This leaves up with their librarian, which they could use card draw for. Yes, they could throw into your imp, but it's a waste of 3 damage. So this is looking pretty good for Leigh right now. Now, looking at their hand, they really can't do too much. They can ramp a little bit more, depending on what they draw. Let's say maybe they get another Azure Drake or something along the lines. Rochester, though, just getting a Silver Golem, not too good. Getting a Dark Peddler, we'll have to see what they get off that 1-mana card. If they get a Soulfire, it could be great. Mortal Coil right here is probably going to be the best one to pick up. They get, not only do they clear, they keep their Librarian alive, and they get a card draw, which right now they desperately need. And they're just going to get another Juggler. So this is all dependent on how many of the Doom Callers they run in their deck. I think it's the Doom Guard, the 5/7 charge, Doom Guard or Doom Caller. I don't remember which one it was. So they're just looking for it right now for that damage. So it looks like they're just going to clear the board right now out of Leigh, which is the best bet, like he said. They're running out of cards. You're getting really close to be able to use your Yashiraj, which I'm going to say right now, Rochester is not going to expect unless they saw the card list. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they actually show card list. Now, the only reason why they're thinking of not using Living Roots is because they've already used the Moonfire. They've already used another Living Roots, so their Malagos, that is if they're running Malagos Druid. I assume they are, but if they aren't, it'd be very surprising. But if they are running Malagos Druid, then they don't have that card to send out. They only have one more Moonfire left in their deck. And right now, just because of the card draw that Warlock has, they are able to get their board back up. Now, what can get out of Barnes to turn this around? Let's see what they get out of it. They don't have Yashiraj available. It's in their hand. That's decent. The only thing that kind of sucks at this point, they're only going to get one mana off on that Yashiraj, and they were going to be able to play it next turn anyway. If they got this one turn prior, it would have been amazing. But their Yashiraj, now 9 mana. You could play Living Roots with it if you had any. I don't know what else that you would be running at 1 mana. Malga, sure that is, but we'll see if they're able to draw anything. But let's see the damage coming out. They currently have 6 on board with 1 ramping up, as well as the Knife Chiller just throwing out knives whenever it wants. So I feel like at this point you just throw everything on the board and go for it. The only thing you are going to be in swipe range, but it's something that I feel like they need to go for. Now, is he going to clear that the Imp? This is where it gets interesting, because he could clear the Emperor with the next 2 cards in his hand, and it seems like that's what he wants to go for. Will he get lucky? No, it goes face again. Oh, come on, it can't go face again. What is going on in these games? Rochester's Knife Jugglers just want to go face, and we were just saying they were putting themselves into swipe range. What a surprise. They drew swipe, but they don't have the spell damage to actually do really anything with it. They can clear a bit, but there's going to be way too much damage on the field. I think this is game. Unless they get something big off of Yashiraj, this game is going to lose it. Yeah, Leigh even realizes, since they know their deck the best, that they don't have a card. So this is going to be a win over to the Warlock of Rochester. Yeah, that was a very interesting. I think the draws per Leigh were pretty bad right there, and it kind of came to it where that Yashiraj was just a dead card in their hand. They actually never played it. They've had it since turn 1 and wasn't impactful at all, and they kind of ruined it for them. There's really nothing they could have done. So I'm going to do at least one more. I might save the one thing I looked ahead to see how many games there were. I'm just spoil it. There are 5 games. You can probably tell by the note on here. So I'm going to do at least one more today, and then I'm probably going to do the last 2 for tomorrow's. So let's jump right here, and let's see what it is. Let's see. It's going to be again that Malagos Druid. Now it's going to be against Shaman, which at this point, Shaman was just way too broken. Actually, I don't even know why I'm wearing headphones. There's no sound in this because I had to mute everything. So there's no sound. I don't even have headphones. Okay, so Shaman drew a perfect Shaman hand. Well, not perfect Shaman hand, but an amazing Shaman hand. They have the Trogdor. They have the Tunnel Trog. But what are they going to be able to do? I don't think they're going to want to waste a Moonfire and a Living Roots just on 1 Trog. But if they knew the hand of Rochester, they might. But at this point, the best thing would probably be just the Living Roots for your 2 saplings, and then work on it later. But one thing to keep in mind, you do have that Blood Moon Thalanos to clear it off, so they might be waiting just for turn 2 to Blood Mage and then Living Roots to kill off the Tunneler, which might be the best choice. Granted, they don't know that there's 2 Totem Golems waiting in the hand. Granted, Swipe is great for Totem Golems, but one of them, there's 2 in your opponent's hand, so this is not looking too good for Leigh already. Let's see, what card did they draw? Innervate. Okay, that changes things a little bit. They can actually clear the board right now with Innervate, Swipe, and Living Roots. They might need to. Let's see what they do. Because they realize that their opponent is going to be overloaded. They're actually just going to Hero Power and go face, so they're going to leave both up. This is very dangerous by Leigh, because if your opponent does have that other Tunnel Trog, that other Totem Golem, it's going to just be massive for you. And there it shows that it's now going to be a 3/3 Trog, and this Totem Golem is just going right for your face. So now what are you going to do? It looks like they might coin, Innervate, they're okay. I think I'm thinking too much of clearing. They're thinking more in the long run, trying to get everything in their hand discounted. The only problem is they're going to be taking at least 9 damage this turn. And this is still just perfect for Rochester. Oh my god, they got the Flame Tongue too. So they could either decide to Flame Tongue to do an extra 4 damage, or Feral Spirits for tanking up and getting an extra 1 damage. They just got to think of massive AoE, which really just one swipe out of the hand of Leigh. They're not going to have massive AoE, and they're going to go for it. They're just going to flood the board. And, oh, I didn't realize it was 2 Overload. I thought it was 1 Overload. So they clear off the Emperor and put down 2 more taunts up. So is Leigh going to be able to clear this board? Blood Mage swipe. If only they had another damage. Because that's only going to kill 1 totem and leave another one with 2 health, and then the 2 taunts with only 1. But that might be the play at this point. Is going to be to swipe a golem, Moonfire another, and then use your hero power to clear 1 of the taunts. I don't think you want to waste both Moonfire and a Living Roots. I think that's the best play. Because then this also leaves up... That is, unless you want to keep... Oh, wait, no, that's right. They don't have the mana. So they can't even hero power here. If they are very desperate to keep their Blood Mage alive, they will clear with both. But at this point, I don't know if they could actually do that. They can't waste the Living Roots because they're already down a Moonfire. They're going to be down a Living Roots. So when that Malagos does come in late game... Yeah, they're going to go for it, though. Okay, even more. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense now that I think about it. I'm thinking too much. I was thinking too much of the spell damage being you wanted to use the spell damage, but putting those 2 on the board, just putting the bodies out there, makes it so that they clear a lot easier. Now, Lightning Storm right here is, in my opinion, probably going to be the best bet. Keeps both your taunt golems safe. It allows you to get rid of that Blood Mage so he can't use it. Puts you at 2 Overload, but then you can play Barnes or you could play your Thing from Below. Now here's the Yashraj again, just being a dead card. Not really doing too much. And they are 1 man off from the Arcane Giant really being anything to being able to throw down. So they're probably going to Living Roots and then just use their hero power. I don't think here you could waste the Feral Rage. The damage is just too good at this point, especially if you're able to grab... I can't think of the name of the legendary where they could... Oh, did they swap the side? Okay, that confused me because I looked away, came back, and everything was flipped. And what just happened? Okay. Tespa, you're just messing me up here. So they actually used the Feral Rage for the armor, which I do agree with. That was actually the better choice there. Use your mana efficiently, get rid of the board, trying to get as much health back as you can, but at this point it's looking a little rough. It looks like they are going to just play down the Barns from what I could see before they swapped it over. And we'll have to see what they get, because if they are able to get a totem, that just makes things from below even better. What's in their deck at this point? Another Tunnel Trog, another... actually, one of your 7/7s could come out, which would be just a 1/1. But a Taunt is actually not too horrible. The Taunt is going to help you out down the line. So, here's an interesting decision now, though, out of Leigh. I think you just go ahead and Arcane Giant, just because there's nothing else you can do. Now, what is Rochester going to do? They need to start playing more damage because the Druid is living, and once the Druid does get up to the 10 mana spike, they're going to have a lot of stuff. Like, they have the Yashraj, they have the Malagos in their hands. Now, granted, they don't have it in their hands, but in their deck, granted, they don't have the spells to go with it. It's something that they have. Now, the one thing about Leigh is that they haven't ramped at all this game. They didn't get any of the Wild Growths, which later down the line, you can use it to cycle. If you have Gadget out, you get actually 3 cards with it, which is just insane. But they are going to clear out this Arcane Giant, and they will get a Thing from Below out. So that's going to be a 7/5 Thing from Below for 2 mana with Taunt. How is that not insane? They're going to have to nourish for cards here just because they have nothing in their deck right now. So there's Fandral. Not really too useful at this point. They're going to have to Fandral to kill that, because without it, they're going to be taking 4 damage. So, 6 damage on board, 20 life. They're actually not looking too bad right now. Sadly, with that Fandral, they weren't able to cycle with that Wrath to do 4 damage and get a card. Now, they might Moonfire for 1 damage. Now, they only would have took 1 damage. Now, granted, it could have been 3 if another Flame Tongue came out. But now you have nothing to go with Malygos. You have one more swipe, I believe. What is your win condition at this point? Is it just to play big minions and hope for the best? Against a Shaman, that could work. But you're still pretty far. You're still at least 2 or 3 turns away from getting your big minions out. This Yashiraj has been a dead hand, or dead card for, like, between these 2 games, about 10, 12 turns, somewhere in that range. Now, this is where it's going to start ramping for them. They were able to play the card out of that, I can't think of the name of, sorry, the Inspire card, for practically free. With the taunt up, they're just going to be able to start ramping, and with 9 damage or on board, actually no, wow, not 9. I still thought that was a 1-1. With, I think that's game. Let's see. 6-11. They need 5 damage. So they needed Azure Drake, a Lightning Bolt, and they win. Because they need 2 damages, Lightning Bolt and Hero Power, and they will have enough damage to do it. So let's see if the Azure Drake does get him anything benefactory. Spirit Claws, that's it, that's game. That is going to be game. All they need to do is play the Spirit Claws and Hero Power and throw everything face. At least I believe so. Let's see, they have... Yeah, so that's going to put it up to 5, so that's 13 damage. And then with the Spirit Claws doing an extra 3... Oh, wait, was I wrong? Oh, no, it was perfectly lethal. I was right. Okay. I was like, I'm a math major. I should be able to do this. But that is going to be the second game for Rochester. They're going to go up 2-1. They just need to win 1 more game. That is going to end it for me for today, though. I am going to save some for tomorrow. I don't want to do too many I don't want to make like too big of a backlog in just one day. I kind of want to spread it out, do these daily things to keep myself doing this. So that is going to be my end for day 5, I believe it was. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.